guys, welcome to another episode of Q&A where you guys ask me questions and I try to answer them as best as possible. Let's get straight into it. We have the first question. Is it all alright? All good? All good so far? Curb appeal. Had some work done with you guys. I was wondering how you managed to dry cars without leaving watermarks. Thanks, James. James, thank you very much for your business, as always. Okay, so you have a couple of things you can do. First thing is, it depends where you wash your car. If you're washing it yourself at home, I would suggest putting in a water purification system. Depending where you are in the country, you probably need 30 parts per million or 0 parts per million. So it really depends. But purification system for sure, that helps a lot. So you'd wash the cars normally, and then right at the end, you'd hose it down with this water, and that reduces the watermarks substantially. That's the first thing I would suggest doing. A simpler thing, if you don't want to go into that extent and go into getting a filtration system, is apply wax onto your car more regularly. Because the more you apply wax, and you can apply it on film as well, just as long as you don't get to the edges, apply wax more regularly, and then that will bead off any of the water, which means your drying will be much easier. Finally, use a deep pile microfiber towel. So one of those really thick ones. I'll get one for you now. Can we get Sigita, can you get a deep pile microfiber? Let us to get one. The really thick ones, the yellow ones. This is it. This is the product that we're talking about. So deep pile microfiber. This will help you not get watermarks. So use this.
Cheers.
Moonlit Design is asking, what is Topaz skin? Is it just marketing? Currently, what it means is the way that we are currently using different manufacturer films and different thickness of films to apply on different parts of the car. So at the moment, we're using a thicker film to apply for the lower section of the car and a slightly thinner film for the upper sections of the car in order to get optimum clarity and optimum aesthetics. We're actually working on a product to bridge the gap between what we're currently doing with current manufacturers, which we're producing now, but it's going to take another couple of years. So we're creating the awareness of Topaz skin so people can know what it is. When it's in our box, that means this product we're going to be putting on the bottom and the top, but with the clarity that we want. So that's what it means, basically. Play the Hand asks, how do you maintain a car with PPF? Is washing enough as the detail work has already been done beneath the film, or should you continue to polish and wax a PPF vehicle? It's a very good question. We answer that question a lot when we're helping out customers. So the maintenance of PPF is quite simple. You've got to just treat PPF as you would do normal paint. So you have to wash it correctly. Be careful when you're washing it. Use a 2-bucket system. Basically, the least contact possible with the film. Obviously, you don't have to be so careful as you do with paint because obviously it has a self-healing layer. But you want to use pH neutral products. If you can wax the film, but make sure you don't go, I think I mentioned it already, don't go around the edges, because if you get wax on the edges, you're going to get a white line showing up, which is going to be horrible. Do not use an abrasive product or polish on the film, because you can't use an abrasive on a self-leveling product. Only in certain instances that we have ourselves, we use a product to clean up that area, but make sure you do not use that as a sort of a temporary thing, because you're going to damage, you're going to be taking away the self-healing layer every single time with it abrasive. So I hope that answers that question. If you have any questions or anything like that, always just email us, info@topazdetailing.com. We'll be able to answer you and give you our guides on how to clean PPF. Next question. Where's Mazen? Tom's in it again. He's just a bit fatter this time. How many dollars have you PPF? Okay, it's a difficult one. How many have we PPF? It's hard because we've done quite a few, but trying to put a number on it.
We've only done over 10.
We're over 10. I think between 10 and 15, I'd say, Zondas. But one car which we haven't done is a Cinque, which we are dying to do, aren't we?
We haven't done Cinque, we haven't done Tricolore.
Tricolore we haven't done,
yeah.
A Cinque we haven't done.
Yeah.
So we've done 760s, we haven't done the Tricolore, we haven't done the Cinque, which are the two that we haven't done yet. So if you have a Tricolore or Cinque, bring it in, I'd love to do it. Supercars of Brunei. Have you had any special guests that visited Topaz, royalty, billionaires, etc.? We have, but unfortunately, because of the non-disclosure agreements that I've signed and Mazen have signed, we can't say who. I wish we could tell you guys, but we've had real interesting people coming in. Everything from sort of your Formula 1 drivers to celebrity businessmen to celebrity musicians, film stars, the whole spectrum. Everyone who loves their car, who wants to preserve their car and for it to look as good as possible, you should come and see us. A lot of royalty as well. I wish I could give you names, but I can't, unfortunately. Question by Hasham Pasha. What products do you use? We have a plethora of products. I can't name all of them, but the main ones that we tend to use is 3M, some McGuire products, Rupes. You don't ever know which one to say. That's one that we use a lot. In terms of the machines, we love Rupes machines or Rupes machines. So yeah, that's the terms of products, that's the manufacturers that we use. Next question. Krista Berzina asks, can you apply PPF on my classic restored Mini? Of course we can. We have the ability in-house. We're one of the few companies to have the ability to design in-house and not amend patterns of a manufacturer's previously existing pattern. We create it from scratch. So if you come with a unique car, we would pattern it from scratch in-house and would design it to fit exactly how you would want to fit. So if you wanted to have all the edges wrapped, we would be able to design it so that it wraps every single edge as possible. Some customers don't want it wrapped because there's a high percentage of it lifting from underneath, and if it starts to lift, you'll get sort of marks going all on the edges. It depends on the customer's preference. We were able to do it because we have the flexibility. We have a fully commissioned design center here that we have built in order to be able to design. We have a design base, so your car comes in and then we have specific people that pattern on the cars. So yeah, we can definitely do your Mini. It's not an issue at all. Do you give a warranty with your PPF? Yes, we do. Again, this is another unique selling point. We give warranty ourselves as opposed to the manufacturers. I know manufacturers would give you a 10-year warranty, 7-year warranty, whatever it is on the film. We give a 5-year warranty, which I think is realistic. We actually warranty ourselves. So if you were to come back to us and you'd see that there is something wrong with the car, with the film, with the product, then we would replace that for you, and we would do that straight away. We wouldn't actually ask the manufacturer to okay it and then afterwards replace it. It'll take too long. The buck ends with us. That's the most important thing. So another question here, so by J Turner Bro asks, how can you get the perfect measurements for PPF? Again, that's down to patterning, that's down to our designs. Because we have multiple stages in our design phase, which I mentioned earlier, so if we pattern something and we put the first initial test fit on there, we have probably 1 or 2 test fits to do before we actually put the final piece onto the car. So we go around, we measure, we make sure that everything is absolutely perfect within millimeter precision. Once we're happy with it, how it fits, how it wraps, how it is to install, because again, ease of installation is a big thing as well, because if it's harder to install the pattern, then you're obviously going to start to get compression marks, you're going to have to lift up, it's going to be a disaster. So it's of vital importance to make sure that it's on the car, it fits perfectly, we measure it, do adjustments, take it off, put it back on once it's absolutely perfect. It's trial and error, we keep on going back and forth. It costs us quite a lot to design every single car, but it's worth it in the long run because we're fortunate enough to get to see these cars coming in more and more and more. As soon as one car comes in, and then we have a second, a third, a fourth, it pays for itself. I have another question by LTD asking, best car of 2016 and cars booked in for 2017. Best car. Do you know what? It's a really hard one to answer. But I think probably the best car so far we've had is got to be Gordon Ramsay's LaFerrari Aperta. By far, I think the best one. I say best, it's hard to say the best, but the most exclusive one, I'd say. We've had a lot of other ones that I can't say what they are. But again, due to NDAs I've signed. But yeah, I think that's that one. Can I pick up the car the same day the PPF has been applied? You can't, because we have quality control stages. Because once we install the paint protection film, we like to leave it for a day to be able to have any of the moisture seep through and any bubbles appear and make sure that the quality is absolutely 100%. If you really want to, you can, but we wouldn't be happy with it because we know we wouldn't be able to go through our quality control stages. Hey DXX, what checks do you do on the car before PPF is fitted? So we have a pre-wash inspection, we have a post-wash inspection, so that's once we wash it. When the car's dirty, you can't really see anything in it. When the car is clean, you get to see what there is on the car, if there's any defects on the paint, etc. But really, when you start to detail the car, that's when you really get to see it, because you're up close and personal, you get to see every single intricacy of the car. So we have 3 stages of checking the car over beforehand, and whilst it's being detailed, guys are usually checking the car as well, which is really, really good. And then after that, it goes over to our PPF bay. In our PPF bay, it gets a pre-installation inspection. So it goes around, the guy, the installer, the technician will be checking around the car to make sure panels that he's working on, that everything is sorted out. If it's got stone chips, that'll get done by the detailing team. But yeah, so that's what we do. It's QCing for us, quality control is super, super important. Okay, and the last question I'm going to answer is by Steve Vorst asking, what are your 3 pillars to success? What made Topaz what it is today? Okay, so I think the first thing is dedication. You have to be dedicated to the cause. You have to make sure that you really want to be able to make this business successful. Number two, you have to make sure the product you're giving, so the quality of service, is right up there. You cannot slack one day, because at the end of the day, it's your quality that will speak for itself. And number three, I think you've got to have the right team. You've got to make sure you have people in your life who want good for you, and you need to treat your team correctly and treat everyone around you in a nice way. That's, I think, what the most important bit is. So anyway, so that wraps it up, guys. That's all I have time for today. Hopefully that's answered some of your questions. I'm sorry for the ones that I haven't answered. We'll try to do another Q&A at a later stage. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Let's do it.